Hello everyone, this is Luna. It's been a while since I last updated a video. In today's lesson, we will use Blender to create an endohedral fullerene. Let's move on to the practical demonstration. Delete all objects, clear unused data, and create a cube. Open the Geometry Nodes panel and create a geometry node. By holding Shift+A, you can create nodes. I have set the search shortcut to Shift+Z, so I just need to press Shift+Z to search for nodes. Create a sphere, change the subdivisions to 2, and add a dual mesh to convert it into a hexagonal sphere. Create a new small sphere and use the Instance on Points node to clone it onto the surface of the hexagonal sphere. Change its radius to 0.08. Use the Mesh to Curve node to first convert the edges of the hexagons into curves, then use the Curve to Mesh node to convert them into a model. Merge the models to check if the size ratio is appropriate. Connect a circle to the profile curve to create chemical bonds, and reduce the radius to 0.03. Create a Shade Smooth to set the viewport smooth display, and add a Set Material node for material assignment later. Reduce the size of the sphere and convert it into a volume object. Next, scatter points inside the volume object, change the density to 100, and hold Ctrl+Shift to preview the current object. We notice that the points are stretched vertically. Check the scale values of the sphere and change 8 to 0.8. Then, use the same steps to clone some small spheres onto these points. Merge all the models together. And use random value to set the radius of the spheres. Create two materials and assign them. Enter the Material Editing panel. You can see I have loaded an HDR for basic lighting. You can use any HDR image to experiment with the effect. Next, set up the first material, increase the metallic value, add a bit of roughness, and use noise to add details to the small spheres. However, the default mapping method is incorrect. The noise scale on the spheres and cylinders is different. We can hold Ctrl+T to add a mapping node and change it to Object. If these shortcuts don't work for you, make sure you have installed Blender's built-in Node Wrangler add-on. Use Bump to add surface irregularities. Add a light and adjust its parameters to further illuminate the model. For the second material, we need to assign different colors to the spheres. Add a geometry node, connect a random per island to a ramp for coloring. But no matter how you adjust it, the small spheres remain the same color. This is because the small spheres are currently instances. Go to the Geometry Nodes panel and add Realize instances to convert them into polygons. Now, you can use the Ramp node to set the colors of the small spheres. We can continue by creating a background plate. Use a plane, extrude one edge along the z-axis to a certain height. And bevel the right angle to create a smooth transition. Assign a reflective material to it. Right-click for Shade Smooth. And create an emission plane. Add an emissive material and place it to the left of the model. Now, you can see the small spheres have more reflections. Create a camera, lock the view, adjust its position, and once you are satisfied with the angle, click Render to get the final image. These are the steps to create an endohedral fullerene using Blender. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below, and I will reply as soon as possible. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.